1063.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Well, week 3 is away and done with, and boy, did we overreact about the Detroit Lions after 1 week.
A little bit.
Little overreaction on that part. We'll wear that. That's no problem. They are still really good. Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. You got Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo. We got Christian Cat behind the glass. We're at the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach following week 3 of the NFL season. 38-30. Final score between the Lions and the Ravens. A close, competitive game for about 3-ish quarters. And then that Lions defensive line, that Lions defense really bottled up Lamar Jackson in that run game and took away the win, moved to 2-1. Ravens, once again, falling to 1-2. Can't really win a big game in the early part of the season. They haven't done it in the last couple of years here. And now you got a couple questions about how good the Ravens really are comparatively to someone like last year. Derrick Henry had yet another fumble that really cost the team, probably cost the team the game in all consideration again. And that's the second time in 3 weeks that he's cost his team a victory alone. I think he fumbled again in the Brown game as well. So
He's got a real issue with putting the ball on the ground.
So that's 3 times now. And the Lions, on the other hand, played a pretty perfect game on the flip side. But Mike, your reaction to the game yesterday?
The rushing attack, right? I mean, did Montgomery with the $151, Gibbs with 67. Both had 2 touchdowns. It's not like Goff threw for 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns.
And Goff played a very good game.
He did. He played a clean game. The best way I could put it for the Lions is they played a clean game offensively. And the play where I think the momentum flipped a bit too was the 4th and goal. With the 4th and goal for the Ravens, they had 4 chances to get in from about the 2-yard line, and they couldn't do it. And what was that play? Dude, the play call that the Lions snuffed out on that 4th and goal where Lamar ended up fumbling and landing back on it. I mean, you were like, all right, the Lions came to play. You want to know why the NFL is so great? So the Lions, they lost to the Green Bay Packers week 1. The Browns beat the Green Bay Packers this past week. The Ravens beat the Browns 43-17. That's why the NFL is great. Any given week, anything could happen. That's why, Kyle, you said we were quick to overreact about the Lions. Yeah, that's the NFL, mate, right? That's the NFL in a nutshell of, Lions are dead, lost all their coordinators. It's gonna be tough to follow up what they did. Dude, that new defensive coordinator was booming last night. That new offensive coordinator was booming. They're healthy, and it seems like, and I told you when we did Game Plan for Greatness with Mentally Medical yesterday, for the Lions, they need to get that run game established. They never were able to establish a run against Green Bay because they were down 10-0 before they could blink. So the fact that they were able to establish a run and win that way was very impressive. They out-physicaled the Ravens, too. They won the lineman scrimmage battle on the offensive side and the defensive side. Very impressive stuff.
And they bottled up Lamar. Lamar, played, 200-some-odd yards, 3 touchdowns. He played a good game, but it wasn't to the standard of what they were looking for, especially in the ground attack. The way they won that game was they got to Lamar consistently, and getting to him consistently in that pass rush, whether it be, creative blitzes, not letting him roll out, they were all over him. He didn't have chance, and he was getting frustrated from the first quarter. He was frustrated. And the thing about the Lions that we talked about yesterday was when they get rolling, they are nearly impossible to stop. And that was the case yesterday. You know, every time they were getting the ball, they were better. Aikman said in the broadcast, they were better when they were backed up in their own area. When they were backed up they had a 98-yard drive, an 18-play, 10-minute drive. Just they suffocated them offensively. That's the bizarre part. I mean, that was as good of a game on the road as you could possibly get for Detroit.
The Ravens have been the top rushing attack for the last 2.5 years. And the fact of the matter is they ran 19 yards for 85 yards. And it was a game majority of the way through. We mentioned the Derrick Henry fumble truly swinging the momentum of things. But the fact that they this season, outside of the Buffalo game, they haven't really been able to establish a run. And I think if that's one thing you want to take away from this game, Kyle, I know you're not hitting the panic button on the Ravens, neither am I, but they need to get Derrick Henry back to being Derrick Henry. I mean, what was the statistic last year? The guy didn't fumble at all. And now you have about 3 lost fumbles in 3 games.
All right.
In big spots, too. They're lucky the Browns' offense is inept. because you put the ball on the ground like that, you're asking for teams to crawl back into the game.
Yeah, their offense is fine though. They've been able to score.
And then Lamar 288 and 3 touchdowns.
They've been able to score. It's not a problem. Like really the offense is not an issue. You're a little worried about if they can protect Lamar, and you're a little worried about the fumbling issue. You're not necessarily worried about, can this team score in a big spot? Let's think about this for a second. They open the season at Buffalo. Then they have the Lions in that Week 3 game. They got the Chiefs next week. After that, the schedule gets a lot easier.
Yeah. And the division stinks. The Steelers are worse than advertised. The Browns are terrible. And the Bengals don't have their starting quarterback.
Let's think about this. After this Raven game, which is coming, after this Chief game, which is coming up on the road next week, they might lose that game, right? That's going to be that game they never beat them, and he can't win in that stadium to begin with, Lamar. But, if they start 1-3, not good. But the following part of the schedule, Texans, Rams, Bears, Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals.
Yeah, it opens up.
That opens up considerably. And the next 3 games after that are Steelers, Bengals, or Patriots. They might go undefeated in the next stretch.
They'll win their 10 games.
And they're easily going to win their 10, 11 games.
They'll win their 10 games and they'll win the division.
There is no reason. The problem with the Ravens is you walked out of that game thinking the same exact thing you thought about the Ravens walking into the game. They can't win a big one.
Right.
They do not win an important game. They cannot do it for the life of them. Unless it's in the division, they can't go into whether they're at home, a tough environment against a competitive team. Regular season, they're a lot better than the postseason, but they just can't win a big game. And they feel like this didn't have that slip away nature that Week 1 had, or the Chiefs last year. It didn't have that sense, or the Bill game last year with the Mark Andrews fumble. But it had the stretch of they were in the game, and then all of a sudden they just couldn't make the plays at the end to close it out.
And I think we understand they're going to be hosting a playoff game too.
Right.
The Bengals, I went through. Bengals, no quarterback. The Browns, bad. Pittsburgh, geez.
They're going to dominate. They got an easy schedule.
England.
They're getting through the tough part now.
If you're a Raven fan doomsdaying today, just keep in mind you will have a home playoff game. That simple. That simple. I know it was ugly. I know you got out physical last night. It doesn't happen a lot with Harbaugh teams, with John Harbaugh teams. You got out physical last night. And that's a tough pill to swallow because Lamar threw for 288 and 3 touchdowns. You lost the game. Again, Lamar playing well, and you're losing the game. I feel like it happens in a big game, right? Recently, before the last 2 years, Lamar didn't play well in some of those playoff games. But the last 2 years in the playoffs, Lamar's played pretty well.
Yeah, he hasn't been dominant, but he's been better.
But
for sure.
It's not Jackson's fault that they're losing some of these games. It really isn't. It really isn't. And I like that you said it boils down to protection, too.
If you get to any quarterback, you're going to beat the team.
Right. And even say what you want how bad the Brown game was. Garrett and company were pressuring them too. So I think if you're Harbaugh, clean up the offensive line, figure out Derrick Henry. Figure him out because he's still a top talent in the league.
That might be the only first ballot Hall of Famer that has played in the last 15 years at that position.
Right.
Right then and there should give me enough confidence that he's going to figure that out.
But yeah.
So I don't have a ton of worry about him.
And then on the Detroit side, Kyle, it's like, do we even remember Week 1? Week 1 is so far in the rearview mirror. And
clutch fourth down on the Monroe St. Brown. The Detroit buttons hit. Mm-hmm. They went for it on fourth downs. They took long, methodical drives. Both running backs played well. They got everybody involved offensively. Goff played a near perfect game. They mostly kept him protected, and that's the only way you beat Goff.
Right.
Goff, if you give him time and you're running the ball well, he'll pick you apart. That's when everything goes well for Jared Goff. Mm-hmm. And he will not have a bad game if those are the conditions.
And then I think they proved a lot to the division. I think they proved a lot to the NFC. When you look at the NFC, you're thinking of the Eagles. You're thinking of the Buccaneers and their hot start in the 3 games and the Packers. But recency bias, the Packers losing to one of the worst teams in the NFL.
And the Packers already have the win over them, but they're going to have to split. So that's
right.
They're thinking about splitting right now against Detroit.
Detroit getting back on track. And then on the flip side, if you want to stay in the North, the Vikings defense dominating and the Bears finally having Caleb Williams look like Caleb Williams. So this is such a week-by-week league, but that division is wide open. It is. That division is wide open right now. I know the Bears are 0-2. They're behind the 8 ball, but I don't think all of those teams have a chance of beating each other again. I know most of them have played each other, but all of those teams have a chance. The next time that they face off, it's like flip a coin. Flip a coin because they are quality. They are good. And I think the Lions proved that again last night.
Ravens, 6 of the last 7 years have had double-digit wins. They're going to have that again this year, so do not worry. Take a look at their schedule. if you think that's going to be a problem. So that's number one. But walking away from it, they've played in one conference championship since Lamar has sort of taken over. The problem with them is they can't win a big game.
They're not alone either.
They can't win a big game. And the thing about the Bills is the Bills also can't win a big game, but they can win a big game better than the Ravens can. And so there is almost a totem pole. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. They do what they do. They're there until they're taken out. And everybody else, the Bengals, they had that 1 or 2 years where they were in the mix. Other than that, they've done a whole lot of nothing. The Bills, we're all waiting for them to break through. They're playing great. The Ravens have sort of been in that in-betweener where they're too good for the regular season to not have postseason success. Mm-hmm. I walked away from that game not thinking that this team should panic at any point in the regular season, but if you're a fan looking for that team to take the next step, nothing of what I've seen the first 3 weeks, have shown me that anything is going to be different in a big spot.
And the Chiefs have been gatekeeping the AFC for years. Right. I think that's what we know.
But, there's eyes on Buffalo. There's eyes on Kansas City. Fine. They have had 2 opportunities here for big wins. One was on the road at Buffalo, which probably should have won. And one of them was last night at home against Detroit when you're 1-2. You got next week at Kansas City. So those are 3 of probably your 4 biggest games of the year outside division in the first 4 weeks.
Could be a big next step. Win in Kansas City.
You win in Kansas City, everything else is vindicated. They're okay with that. That is what they're looking for. They're looking for, can we beat our boogeymen? And their boogeymen, in a way, is what the Bills did to them last year and what the Chiefs have done to them time and time again. And if they could show that in a big spot, specifically give them some confidence for the postseason, that is all. And Christian Cat is our producer today. He's a Raven fan. All the Raven fan cares about at this point is not about winning your 10 games. Mike and I would kill for 10 games right now.
Correct.
But it's about, can they take another step in the postseason? I haven't seen that yet. And I can't necessarily sit here and say that team is going to be okay come postseason.
Gambling line where they're good friends at Hard Rock Bet, Ravens and Chiefs. Ravens are favored. 3rd time Patrick Mahomes in his career has been a dog at home.
The one thing is the Ravens have looked eye test. They have the same record. Eye test tremendously better than what Kansas City has looked at.
And it's offensively. You assume that Jackson is still going to be able to put up 2 to 3 touchdowns. You assume that the Ravens are going to be able to put up points. Can they get out of their own way?
Yeah. The Ravens had a lot of injuries yesterday defensively, so it's hard to almost knock them when they're missing out so many players. But even their great players, Roquan Smith had a bad day. Marlon Humphrey had a bad day. Their big namesake players have not played well. And then Derrick Henry has not played well in a big spot. If the only one you're relying upon is Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews to win you games, it's not going to happen. This is going to be, talk about team effort.
I remember when Mark Andrews used to have respect on his name.
This is that playoff loss that killed his
correct,
reputation.
the non-catch, the botch. Bills, they beat themselves, and I think last night they beat themselves too. I'm not
going to say that about last night. I think Detroit was better than them.
Even the Henry fumble?
Yeah, because the Henry fumble was a... Oh,
fourth
my God,
goal.
It happened again.
Hold on, 4th and goal. You don't score on the one.
But it was also, pressure was great on that play. They probably should have, but you know what I mean?
Bad play calling. Lamar visibly upset after, I believe, the 2nd down call.
Right.
So,
but it was, remember, they got to him on that 4th down and then he fumbled it. So, but they were on to him all game.
That's why I say it, though. The fumble, the 4th and goal, you had your chances in that game and you blew it.
They were also up 2 possessions in the game as well towards the end. Keep that in mind.
And then rewind quickly. Bill game. The defense was a sieve in that 4th quarter. No one said they had to give up 3 straight touchdowns. And obviously a lot of that set up by the Henry fumble.
Yeah, you know what another problem is? I mean, that fumble changed the momentum of the game because I believe it was a 4-point game when that happened. And then all of a sudden, immediately they were in field goal range. They get a quick stop, but they force a field goal. So now it's a 7-point game. And at 31-24, the score was. The Ravens come back out there, and they have the worst drive you've ever seen in your entire life.
Yeah.
That drive killed the game. Right then and there, when you cannot respond post-fumble is where you get burned. And walking away, again, if you are a Raven fan, you're not worried about the regular season. But that's not necessarily what the Raven fan cares about. Mm-hmm. They want to see, can this team win a big game? Because they haven't. Ever since Flacco was there, they have not won a big game. And who does that boil down to? You can make an argument, Harbaugh sitting there, because they've changed out their offensive coordinator a couple times. Todd Monken is a good offensive coordinator for them, so there's no doubt there. But Harbaugh has not gotten this team ready to play in big spots time and time again. Mm-hmm. I'd be a little nervous about their postseason chances because something's going to have to change. Something's going to have to change fast. You can't just assume that one of these years it's going to roll our way. Ask the Bills how that works.
And now you have others nipping at the feet, like the Chargers. I'm not saying Denver's dead either. I think Denver and that defense, they're going to be able to be in games. They're plays away from being 2-1 instead of 1-2. So I think with other teams rising up in the AFC as well, it's important to have your house in order. But we've seen this from the Ravens. Like and I know you said the same stuff, Couple. Like, remind everybody again, the AFC North is bad, especially with Burrow out this year, and they're going to host a playoff game. Make sure your house is in order for when you go back to the playoffs, because the Chiefs look like they're the most vulnerable they've ever been in about 6 seasons.
You know, it's bizarre because I think some of this can boil down to what Harbaugh has been doing, because we want to go sit and yell at Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin has not had the similar success that John Harbaugh has had in the regular season. They're sort of, that cross. They sort of had similar careers.
Well, yeah, the Ravens have owned the division over the last couple of years.
They've owned the division. They've had better regular seasons. But in the postseason, I know Tomlin hasn't won a big playoff game in 7 years. But Harbaugh, what has he won, 3 with Lamar?
Yeah.
So that they haven't done anything of real value in the postseason. And they haven't won a huge game in the postseason to begin with. I don't know why necessarily he is so particular. Because we're even looking at Sean McDermott in the same light, too. If the Bills can't figure it out again, there's going to be murmurs about getting a new face to run that team.
And I think it'd be Joe Brady. Sorry to cut you off.
Right, because he's right there.
Joe Brady.
To take another step. We need a new face to try to take another step. If the Ravens lose again and they can't get something done in the postseason, at what point can you – I mean, I know he's tenured. At what point can you look at Harbaugh just like you look at Tomlin? And Harbaugh's had more success. Harbaugh had a MVP fall to him at 32 overall in the NFL draft, who has taken the league by storm.
Mm-hmm.
They've been a well-run machine. So with the Steelers, but the Steelers haven't been able to figure out quarterback. It's made a huge difference.
And then that was going to be my rebuttal, is that Harbaugh has the quarterback figured out.
Yeah,
Tomlin
an MVP fall to his lap at 32 overall. He's the 6th quarterback taken in that draft.
I'll listen to we should be giving Harbaugh more heat because he has the MVP quarterback.
Right.
I will listen to that. But I think with Steeler fan and how they operate, they cannot fathom they haven't won a playoff game in 10 years. The Browns have won a playoff game before, more recently against the Steelers. Exactly. And we're rivals, so it's like, it's a big deal. And now you got Aaron Rodgers in there with Mike Tomlin. That doesn't look good right now. I know I'm the one who said they could still win a playoff game. It's looking like a dead ticket. But we talk about how this is week by week and whatnot. But I don't know. The comparison is interesting because they both have a Super Bowl, right? They both have a Super Bowl. What Steeler fan, going off based on what Steeler fan tells me, Tomlin won with Cowher's team. Tomlin didn't win with Tomlin's team. Tomlin lost to Blake Bortles and the Jags. I can't tell you how many times my Steeler buddies bring that game up to me. And I know a lot of Steeler fans that have been done with Tomlin since that moment. They wanted to move on from him then when they lost with Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, Ben Roethlisberger, Ryan Shazier in his prime. They wanted him gone then. So I think that's why that's the best way I can put it, why Tomlin gets more heat, because he won with Cowher's team, didn't win with his team, while Harbaugh, on the other hand, he made the Ravens.
Yeah.
He made, obviously they were good. They were good under, God, I always forget his name. Early 2000s, yeah. Ray Lewis. I cannot.
Dilfer running the team.
I cannot believe I'm forgetting the coaches.
Yeah,
the head coach's name.
I'll pull that up for you.
This is a terrible look. The amount of times that guy kicked my butt. But at the same time, you had to rework that franchise once he retired.
Yeah, Brian Billick.
Yeah, I cannot. It's such a disgrace that I didn't remember Brian Billick. But Harbaugh, he redid the whole roster. He redid how they operate things, and they seamlessly went from Joe Flacco to Lamar Jackson. And people were even scratching heads when they took Joe Flacco from Delaware. By the way, FBS team this year. So that's the best way I could put it. I know it was a long-winded answer, but Tomlin won with Cowher's team. Harbaugh did it the right way. Harbaugh's got the quarterback.
All this
Tomlin
boils
doesn't.
down to is Lamar's prime, and this is his prime, has accounted to a whole lot of nothing at this point. And you can't make generalizations after week 3 of the NFL season. But if this season's going to go how I fear it might go for the Baltimore Ravens, and we're again, sitting there with no major AFC contention appearance and looking around because they're not going to be the number 1 overall seed. You're going to play in that divisional round weekend. You're going to play. You might even play in the wild card weekend. So it's a bizarre situation. Thinking that, all right, you don't necessarily. I'm not saying let's get rid of him, but at some point you're going to have to start pointing fingers at why hasn't this worked. They have so many All-Pros. It's a well-run machine. They have good coaches in the building. They always have good players that are willing to come there. They have an excellent quarterback who's been readily available. They have a first-ballot Hall of Famer who's a good player at running back. I mean, they haven't been able to figure out their receivers. Has that been the problem? And, again, if they can't figure it out again, you're going to have to start asking questions.
Right.
888-760-3776, number to get into the program. With the Ravens losing again in a big spot Monday Night Football last night to the Detroit Lions, at what point do we start to call into question the current regime of the Ravens? Because their big knock was they don't win big games. If you want to beat the Texans in the playoffs, be my guest.
Titans.
Yeah, you want to be my guest. You want to knock around those teams, fine. But when you play the Bills or when you play Kansas City, not a lot has happened. That is the big knock on the Ravens. Who do you blame here? Who do we start to look at if they once again cannot have a big moment of postseason success? 888-760-3776. Let us know. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. We will do our top 10 poll presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage with college football. On the flip side, Jackson Dart also going to be the starting quarterback for the New York Giants. We'll get into that. By the way, breaking news a little bit, presented by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire. If your vehicle has issues with braking or other issues, get it fixed right now at St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This has come out of nowhere. This kid's probably the number one in the Heisman votes right now. John Mateer, the quarterback at Oklahoma, is undergoing hand surgery immediately and will be out for the foreseeable future. Venables did say that he anticipates him to come back at some point this season.
Dude, it had to happen in practice. It didn't happen in the game.
He said it sustained it against Auburn.
Oh, my Lord. So that young man played. How about that?
It was probably, it was probably something that happened in his hand, and, you could probably get through that in the thick of the game. But Oklahoma, who's undefeated, one of the better wins that they've had, under Venables, period.
They can't catch a break.
Can't catch a break. So he's going to be out, whether maybe it's a month, who knows. But the Oklahoma's upcoming schedule, they got Kent State coming up, but they got the Red River rivalry coming up in about 2.5 weeks. South Carolina after that, and then next month, around Halloween time, that's when the ranked matchups come 5 in a row as of today. Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, Mizzou, and LSU. So that's probably when they're hoping to get.
I hate to. That's bad news for football fans. I don't have a root. I don't root for Oklahoma. I don't hate Oklahoma either. But you want to see Mateer and Venables go up against the top-notch SEC.
This is the time to do it. If they said that we can't get through this season with this injury, now it's time to do it. You have a bye this week. You got Kent State after that. That's 2 weeks where you don't have to worry about it. You might even just have to fold your cards in that Texas game. You're not beating Texas without him at quarterback. And then you got South Carolina the week after that, who hasn't been very good.
To play devil's advocate, can you imagine if Arch and Texas lose to a backup quarterback in that Red River rivalry?
We'd be calling for jobs. We'll do a little college football top 10. On the flip side, stick around for it. Russo Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
It's NFL primetime, and whether it's Monday night, Sunday night, or Thursday night lights, you want your home comfortable for kickoff. I'm Colin Russo, and Cassidy AC has your winning playbook. First down, when these storms hit, flip the breaker and shut off your AC to avoid the costly power surge damage. Second down, call Cassidy and add surge protection before the storm season brings in the pressure. If your system is breaking down like a team with no offensive line, upgrade now and score $500 off new installs. Plus, special financing with payments starting at just $92 a month. Cassidy's been Palm Beach County's trusted franchise since 1960 with expert technicians who can tackle just any system, any brand, and any age. And the Cassidy Care Club, that's your playoff ticket. That's priority service, tune-ups, discounts all season long. Here's the stat of the game. 90% of breakdowns on units under 10 years old could have been prevented with regular maintenance. Don't get sacked by the heat. Go to CassidyAC.com today. That's Cassidy AC, your primetime player in your home comfort.
Gators fans, you still have 4 chances to catch Florida football live in the Swamp this season. Don't miss the Texas game on October 4th, homecoming against Mississippi State on October 18th, Military Appreciation Day versus Tennessee on November 22nd, and Florida State for Senior Day on November 29th. Visit FloridaGators.com to get your tickets today.
Every great performance starts with a plan. Your game plan for greatness begins at Men's Only Medical. Dr. Al is redefining men's health with concierge care and cutting-edge treatments tailored just for you. From anti-aging and weight management to cardiovascular health, skin, and hair, they've got you covered. Expect personalized care and advanced technology to help you look, feel, and perform your best. Visit mensonlymedical.com. Men's Only Medical, setting a new standard for men's health.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
She ain't gon' tie me down. Why you on the road? Got it on the shirt, saw the hat, saw the clothes. What you want right now? What up right now? I think you need to close your mouth, cause you ain't gon' tie me down.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
You know, the best part about the digital age is you can listen to us, listen to any of your favorite shows in one spot. ESPN South Florida has an app. It's available free on the App Store. Go download it today because it's got everything in one place. It's all your Florida beats, your South Florida sports beats. That's Inter Miami, English, and Spanish, Deportes Radio, which you can catch on the app. If you miss what Mike and I have to say, miss what Theo and Christian have to say on Theoretically Speaking, catch it on the app. Even if you miss any of the high school coverage, the extensive high school coverage that we do from throughout Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast, it's all on the app. Catch it there. Download today, ESPN South Florida app. All right, let's have some fun here. The college football AP poll post week 4 is out. It's available. John Mateer, the quarterback at Oklahoma, one of the Heisman leaders in terms of votes in the early part of the season. He's undergoing hand surgery. He will be missing at least the next couple of weeks. Venables said he'll return at some point this season. They have Michael Hawkins, the redshirt sophomore, as the backup who has seen game action before. They went to him at points last year. So it remains to be seen. Oklahoma has a bye. Kent State. Then they got the Red River rivalry. Then they got South Carolina. So it's the easy part of their schedule comparatively because they got 5 straight ranked matchups to finish off the year.
It's a solid coordinator there, too. Obviously, the coordinator who came
Ben Arbuckle
from Washington State. He came with Materi, Coach Cam Ward. So I think the offense will be fine. I think they'll actually surprise a couple of people, too, in that matchup versus Texas. I'm not saying they're going to sit here and win with a backup quarterback in Hawkins, but I think it's going to be pretty good. But let's get right into our Good Greek college football top 10.
Who's moving up?
Went from unranked to the 14th team in the country. They were more motivated going into that game.
Who's moving down?
Can they have a good season after this? Maybe.
It's time for Russo and Rizzo's College Football Top 10 Poll. Presented by
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Folks, call Good Greek Moving and Storage for your total relocation solution. From packaging and storage to local and long-distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, sports teams like the Hurricanes and the Heat for over 2 decades, you got to make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free with the world's only total relocation company. They also do auto transport, junk removal, storage services. They're the first moving company in Florida to be certified by Pro Mover. And be on the lookout as I will be attending the Spiro Superhero Movers Academy coming near you. Kyle, let's get right in.
All right, so the AP top 10 is as follows. Ohio State is at number 1. Miami is number 2. Penn State is number 3. LSU 4. UGA is at 5. Oregon is at 6. Oklahoma, big risers after the Auburn win at 7. FSU at 8. A&M is at 9. And the Longhorns, Texas, are at 10. The outer, the 11, 12, and 13 is Indiana, Texas Tech, and Ole Miss. All right, Mike, let's start from 10, go down to the front. Let's go to start at 10.
Number 10.
Now,
Texas is here. We're not putting Texas here.
Indiana. You could put Texas Tech. I'll listen to a couple of teams. I'll listen to Ole Miss, Texas Tech, Indiana. We're taking Texas out. I agree there. Go beat Oklahoma, and we'll talk about being back in
that Illinois win. I like more than the Texas Tech. I know Texas Tech did it mostly with their backup quarterback, so you got to give them credit there. That was an ugly game. It was at Utah. But I do think that Indiana win deserves something.
I got to be careful here because I know Mikey in Peoria is listening, and Kyle, I know our Peoria fan base is listening. But the Illini stink.
Yeah.
Do we really
You don't
take
beat
that
a Power
into
5 team, but it's a
stink.
Power 5 team that we thought would be pretty
Right.
solid, who won a bowl game. I mean, we were good in a bowl game last year. Same coach. They lost by 53 points.
I mean, as much as I love them,
I don't
they
care where
stink.
Indiana was. Indiana's on this list.
Okay,
That's the
all right.
most impressive.
So they're number 10. We'll move on to number 9.
Number 9.
Now, you can put A&M, you can put Florida State, you can put Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma better wins than both Florida State and A&M to this point. I think they deserve to be higher.
I agree.
I probably would stand pat.
I would probably put FSU.
And you'd have A&M higher than
I
Florida
like
State.
I like A&M winning at Notre Dame more than I like FSU beating Alabama.
See, I disagree there. I think Alabama is still really good, and I think people might find that out against Georgia this weekend.
Maybe, but I just think winning at the Notre Dame on the road in that environment, I'm willing to reward A&M for that more so. I understand they have opportunities to move up. FSU has Miami in 2 weeks, but
road game, I get it. But we're talking about a Notre Dame team that gave up 30 points to Purdue this past weekend.
Fine. But they were, hold on. Our number 1 team, they went right down to the wire with their probably number 1 team. Keep that in mind.
All right, I'll meet you halfway. We'll do number 8.
Number 8.
So number 9 was FSU. Number 8, A&M.
Has to be. Because I think Oklahoma clears
They got 2 big
both
wins.
of them.
2 big wins. With or without the quarterback, we're
Right.
still ranking them here. We're not doing the Jordan Travis treatment yet.
Hang on.
We're going to keep it there.
I want to give Florida State the props. I was tremendously down on Florida State heading into the year. As the office likes
top 10 team.
As the office likes to
Prove
remind
us-
me.
Go
Right.
beat the number 1
But
team in the country.
I know you and Christian disagree. There's something to be said about putting up 60 points against godforsaken State. They did it again over the past weekend. That offense, they had 482 yards rushing.
Yeah, I can't
against
listen to
against a MAC team. They had 482 yards
Yeah, I
rushing.
mean, Mike,
the
come on.
Buckeyes could barely cross midfield.
I mean, it is
against
Kent
Ohio.
State. You're talking about the MAC champions versus Kent State.
I
who
understand.
stinks.
I understand, but still, but there's something to be said about Florida State and what they've been doing. Let's go number 7.
Number 7.
And Oregon, Oklahoma, Georgia. Do you want Oklahoma higher? If we're being fair, they have better wins than Oregon and Georgia.
And Oregon's got Penn State this week, so I'm happy to put Oregon at 7 and give them an opportunity to move up.
Okay. We'll go Oregon 7. That leads us to number 6.
Number 6.
Oklahoma. Fairly.
I'll listen to UGA here as well, but 6 we'll do Oklahoma.
I like the Tennessee win at Tennessee. That's a better win
And
than anything
I
else.
personally, look at me playing into the whole AP committee. I personally like putting Georgia at 5 for that matchup against Alabama. Make it, a top 5 matchup for the Crimson Tide and a chance to kind of make up for that loss against the
let's get
Seminoles.
to it. Number 5.
Number 5.
I think it's Georgia.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go anywhere else here. I think LSU, Penn State, Miami, and Ohio State rightly ahead of them. Let's do number 4.
Number 4.
We had Penn State here last week. I have no reason to move them.
No, I'm with you. Christian, I love the Nittany Lions. I'm Big Ten Mike, but go beat Oregon, and I'll put you. I'll put you at 1.
Yeah.
You go beat Oregon.
I would have listened to put Penn State at 5 too.
Depending on what Ohio State does against Washington and what Miami. I think Miami's idle this week. I think Miami might be on a bye. I'll double check that. But if you go beat Oregon, I'll put the Nittany Lions close to 2, damn near 1.
I'd listen to that at 5 too. Let's go to number 3.
Number 3.
LSU.
Yeah, firmly.
No problem there. They didn't play, and Ohio State also didn't play either.
Right.
I'm
sorry.
okay. Based on what we saw, best resume in the country is coming up at number 1.
It is.
Number 1.
So that puts
It's Miami.
LSU at number 3, OSU, Ohio State at number 2,
The
and
Ohio
University of Miami at 1.
The Ohio State.
All right,
Yes, but Hurricanes won. I've said it all week. I say all week. We've had one show. I said it since yesterday. Most impressive team. Best 2 wins, I think, out of anybody in college football. And I love the way they won against Florida. Beck had a bad game. Beck looked like a Heisman Trophy candidate heading into that game. He had a stinker, about $126, an interception, no touchdowns. And they ran the ball with Mark Fletcher and all
that rainstorm, no problem.
Their stable of running backs that they had. They didn't even run Lyles. Okay, the other kid got all the carries. But Miami definitely the number 1 team in the country right now, and that was our college football top 10 presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage.
Well, we got a lot to talk to about with Steve Palazzino, the Good Karma Brands president of the Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Fame, a Little Ryder Cup. Jackson Dart, he's a Giants guy, is now the official starter of the New York Giants as of week 4. We'll get into that next. Stick around for it. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Fall is here, and the flavors of the season are waiting for you at DQ Grill & Chill. Treat yourself to the new Maple Cookie Milkshake. DQ's world-famous soft serve blended with maple cookie crumble and real milk. It's the sweet taste of fall in a cup, but only for a limited time. And don't forget the blizzards of the month, pumpkin pie and caramel toffee cookie. Stop by DQ Grill & Chill today with 2 convenient locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1 just south of North Lake. Fall tastes better at DQ.
Hi, I'm Michael Manzo, owner and founder of Manzo's Italian Deli, and
Stop, Dad. After 20 years, people are tired of hearing your voice.
Yeah, and your lame-ass commercials.
Fresh prosciutto, mozzarella, outstanding.
Oh, please.
There's only one reason Manzo's is voted #1 deli in Palm Beach County for 20 years. Our mother.
She makes sure you prepare everything from scratch using only the freshest ingredients.
Manzo's Italian Deli is located on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, right next to Rain Dancers.
Is that a strip club?
No, it's a steakhouse. Manzo's is open weekdays from 8 to 5 and offers free delivery. So stop by or call 697-9411. That's 697-9411.
we also specialize in hot and cold catering for corporate functions and special events.
Just ask anyone who was at my last birthday party.
You lather, rinse, moisturize, and repeat. At this point, you're practically training for the Shower Olympics. But here's the twist. It's not your shampoo's fault, it's your water. Hard water leaves a mineral residue that clogs your pores and dries out your hair. Culligan water softeners remove damaging minerals, revitalizing brittle hair and dry skin. Upgrade your shower system today for only $79 a month. Visit Culligan.com for more information or just say,
Hey, Culligan man!
I did it. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, you ain't nothing but
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Listen to us live on the ESPN South Florida app or on your radio dial, ESPN 106.3. We're at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach, looping in good friend of show. He is the Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer. He is the Good Karma Brands president. It is Steve Palazzino with us now. Steve, hello. How are you?
Uncle Steve, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Great to be with you, and a Happy New Year to you both.
Happy New Year.
It's Rosh Hashanah.
Is it Rosh Hashanah
I'm
today?
so sorry. I did not remember. That's on me.
Are you apologizing? I
Yeah.
mean, Happy New Year.
You don't have to apologize.
Yeah, you have to apologize. I didn't even know.
I thought, president of the company, we probably should have known that. But
I mean, it would
Hey,
be like
president
me
of the company
saying
not
Merry
giving us Rosh
Christmas to
Hashanah
you
off. Hold on a second.
I mean, you're
Steve.
talking to Uncle Steve. You're talking to two Catholics, but
Hold
I
on,
probably
Steve.
should have. I probably
No
should have known
company
that.
holiday.
That's
How
on
about
me.
that? What's going on there? Geez. Steve?
Yeah, not a company holiday, but everyone makes their decisions on what's most important.
Yeah,
to them.
I always knew it because when I was
like
in school. When I was in school, they'd get the day
for
off.
sure. And
it's an off day. It's a public school off day today. Yes.
All right. Well, Steve, we got a lot to talk about in the meantime. Let's start with your Giants. I'm curious now. They made the move. Brian Daboll felt the public pressure, maybe from ownership, maybe from within, maybe from externally. He is now starting Jackson Dart as the starting quarterback for Week 4. They got the Chargers coming up. They got a tough schedule over the next 5 or so weeks. What's your perspective, number one? Did you think this is the right move or too early?
No, this is exactly what these teams do when they're when they're not all aligned. And it started this summer when when ownership publicly said we're getting tired of the situation we are in, and then but then you go and you draft a rookie quarterback who needs time, and you go and you sign Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, and it's the amount of mixed signals that the Giants have continue to put out there. Dable will probably be a good coach. It won't end up being with the Giants, but this is a desperation move that he's doing now because he's heard from ownership, we're losing patience. Instead of, we are going to play for the long game here. We have some great young pieces in Neighbors, in Robinson, in Tracy. I know he's hurt, in Scadaboo. And we're going to like give this quarterback time, to watch on the sideline. But Wilson's been terrible. We know that, but it just reeks of reaction, reeks of like the press and just the constant non-alignment that the Giants have between coach, front office, and ownership.
Steve, what are your thoughts on Dart?
I think he's going to be really good. I think he could end up being like really, solid player. There's the Bo Nix comparisons, hopefully more the last year Bo Nix than the this year, so far Bo Nix. But my thoughts on the Giants offensive line are that they're pretty bad. And they're, at least Andrew Thomas is back, which gives a little bit more, protection for Dart. I don't even know if I'd call it old school. Maybe I'm just more conservative in this regard. You just paid Russell Wilson $10 million. Cut him today, then. Cut him. If we're going the other way, cut him right now.
Well,
I would have rather seen Jameis Winston start. I was like, yeah, let's make a change. Jameis Winston should be the starter. At least it'll be fun.
I tend to agree with Steve on cutting ties with
Wilson.
Wilson.
Here's the thing. You need a veteran presence somewhere.
You got Jameis. You're right.
Oh, God.
Russell Wilson's not a veteran presence. Russell Wilson is completely disconnected from this world. He's earned it. He's made the money. He's with the Hollywood girlfriend, like the whole entertainment style. He's completely disconnected. He's not the leadership presence that you need there. I'd rather have Jameis Winston, and I would cut Russell Wilson immediately. Let him go sign with somebody else who maybe thinks he's got something left to give.
Well, the one part I definitely agree with is there's no turning back. He's starting, all right, well, hell or high water, unless he gets hurt, as long as he stays healthy, he is going to be playing every single game the rest of the year. That I can agree with. Now, the other thing about this is that I also agree with, is you said this reeks of reaction. This does reek of public perception, pressure. This was sort of the last possible move that he could have made that, was sort of on the edge of the cliff. It was, all right, well, now you got to see how Dart does. And my opinion is I don't think they're going to get rid of Dable mid-year because what is the point of letting Dart get in there and, potentially if they were to fire Dable in 5 weeks, all of a sudden now you got Dart getting 3 head coaches in a 6-month span. Is that really what the best thing for him? You got to think about the quarterback at this point. I have a hard time seeing a realistic end of the season here that allows Dable to be staying, especially after a reaction like this early. Unless they, surprise people and win 7 games, I don't think there's a way that he could keep his job from here on out. I think they'll do him the diligence of keeping him around to the end of the season. That's not Mara's style. And I was curious in your thoughts on that.
I think right now I'd see him there to the end of the season. To your point, it's not Mara's style. But if there's a blow up, like a major blow up, like in their locker room or something with him and Joe Shane, I don't know if the offense coordinator Mike Kafka makes it all the way. They moved him from upstairs to downstairs,
which
on
is
the
always
sideline.
step one.
Yep, it hasn't yielded those great returns. And I told everybody, like last week, after Wilson had that great game, last week, the prolific game, that he had against the Cowboys last week. One, obviously the Cowboys, defense is not very good, as you saw again this week. And the second thing is Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, not this new amazing Daniel Jones, but the Daniel Jones from the Giants, also had one of those games last year that just had you believing. And that's what got Russell Wilson here to week 3. And you see where we are. He's probably much closer to the week 1 and week 3 than he is, to the week 2 guy. But to your original question is, does Dable make it through the season? My thought is probably yes, because of the kind of organization, the Giants are.
So you do, okay. Now, if Dart comes in and saves the season, he's coming back next year, guys. I got news for you. Dart comes in and plays well.
I'm talking about realistically. Realistically, the next 5 weeks for the Giants is as follows. They play the Chargers this week. All right, that's no easy task to begin with. That's a tough defense, a top 7-8 defense who have played well to this point. All right, so the first game is against the Chargers. After that, they get an easy one. They got the Saints. Then they play short week against the Eagles Thursday Night Football. They play the Broncos, Eagles again, the Niners, Bears, and then Packers. If there is anything more, if you're going to exit the season with 4 wins, you're not surviving. That's my personal
Remember,
opinion.
the Giants came into the year having the toughest strength of schedule coming into the 2025 in the history of the NFL. So my thought is they're going to be a much better team because they have so many. They are better. They are deeper. They are stronger than they have been in the last 10 years.
Yeah, they're better than last year for sure.
Defense and at the skill positions. But I didn't know that. My thought it's not going to really show in the record. Like, they're not winning 9 games, but maybe they'd win 7. And you'd feel like they're on their way, and then they could kind of seed this thing over to Dart. And I thought it would be like the old when Kurt Warner was the starter and he handed it to Eli, and that was the beginning of the next foundation, for the Giants. I don't know if that will be the case because I don't know if the head coach and the GM will be around, but I do think right now they put the best pieces on paper together that they've had in, the entirety of this current regime. Like, there's players there. Couldn't you see it the other day? Like, it was almost like, all right, the stats up, Neighbors hasn't been targeted. And then it's almost like they whisper to the Chiefs coaches are like, probably going Neighbors here. And then he forces it to Neighbors. And it was like we all saw it unfolding right before our eyes. And that's really because Russell Wilson just doesn't have a lot left.
Steve Palazzino, the Good Karma Brands president, with us on ESPN 106.3. Steve, do flip over to baseball really quick. Last week of the regular season, the Yankees in a pretty good spot. I got to ask you, it's the other team. I know you're a Yankee guy. The other team in New York, Mets on the outside looking in. There's a saying amongst the New York fans, the Mets are always going to Met, and they're just always going to get in their own way. It's just going to happen. And it's funny now that we're looking at post-end of the regular season last year, the 2 Magic teams were the Tigers and the Mets. And this year, the 2 disaster dumpster fire, collapses are the Tigers and the Mets. I just wanted to get your sort of takeaway last week of the regular season with the AL as wide open and the NL as wide open as it's ever been.
The story in baseball for me is Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not this is a historic level of collapse by Detroit and comeback by the Guardians. Just in the last couple of weeks to pick up 10, 12, I don't know, what was it?
They were 12 down on August 25th. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know not that many people are still, are focusing on baseball right now. But for example, if you're a Guardians fan, I know that the Browns had a big win last week, but you might be focusing on baseball.
No, we're pumped up, Steve. We're all pumped up.
Awesome story.
Got to win 2 out of 3. Got to win 2 out of 3 against Detroit, Steve, or else it was all for nothing. So big series.
The neat thing is if you're into baseball, there has never, I mean, the AL is so wide open because up until 2 weeks ago, I still like the Tigers and I like the Mariners, who now got hot again, but they can't seem to also get out of their own way, and they're terrible on the road. And, the Blue Jays are hanging on there. You can never discount the Yankees. It's really fun, what's happening. What's happening in baseball in the AL. And in the NL, it seems like nobody's interested in the Brewers. Like nobody actually wants the Brewers.
Yeah, the sole
Brewers.
great regular season front to back that they're the only team that have put that together. So everybody's sort of like, throwing them away because everybody else is a middling 80 win team.
Also the history, boys. I mean, they never win a playoff series. So,
I mean, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
And okay, I got my sidekick Drew here now with some my son who likes to steal my thunder on our show here. But then, of course, the Dodgers and the Phillies, I feel like have just been, all slogging along all year, the Dodgers in particular. But, I mean, come on, when the play, like the Dodgers, they're
going to be the team to beat.
Yeah, Dodgers will probably. If you have to say one team's going to be in the World Series right now, it's in the entire MLB. Who would you bet on over the Dodgers? One team in the World Series right now.
Yeah, to me, I look at the Dodgers and I do look at Philadelphia. I don't trust the Cubs pitching. I don't trust Milwaukee in a big spot. Sal Frelick getting a hit at Citizens Bank on a cold October night in Philadelphia. I don't know if I necessarily see that, but you're right. It's the Dodgers because they're getting healthy at the right time, especially on the pitching side. They're dangerous. They're always dangerous.
Totally.
And the Yankees on their side, Yankees actually played pretty well. And, they might not, they're going to be on the outside looking in. The baseball has a problem with how they seed the teams because now the Blue Jays are going to get that bye, a coveted bye, and then they're going to play the winner of Red Sox Yankees if it ends how it is today. While on the other side, you got the Mariners who are going to have the winner of the Tigers and the Guardians. I mean, if you ask which team who would you rather have, I think it's the obvious is play the AL Central.
You want to run into the guards, Cal, at this moment?
The phony AL Central that we have the same conversation.
Here we go again. We're going to have two playoff teams as of right now if Detroit doesn't fall on their face.
Well, one of those teams is going to be out, but yes.
We'll see. The Red Sox could lose to the Tigers, right?
But the Red Sox have that game lead, but you're right. The Red Sox,
we'll see.
Yeah.
It's
going to be a very good week.
Yeah.
And it starts all today.
A lot needs to unfold, Steve, but AL wide open. I would agree with your sentiment, by the way, of the Dodgers, just because they're the Dodgers. They're the defending champs, and that's probably the only team you would say could be in the World Series. I like the Padres, boys. I do.
Clinched last night.
They bought a lot. They bought a lot of bullpen arms. Let's remember, guys, bullpen arms pitched more innings than starters last year in the playoffs, and the Padres got a plethora of it.
Yeah, and they were huge. They were a huge came into the year, I think, with pretty big expectations, and they just have not been able to break through.
I was down on the
interesting. Talking more Padres than we're talking Chargers on this radio show. If you're going to guess,
what's you, Steve? Steve, you're a baseball
guy. Steve, we know you love the Yankees and the Knicks. You love all the. You love your New York teams.
Listen, we're allowed to talk baseball with the president of the company. Am I right on that?
Steve,
I think you should talk about whatever.
Yeah,
your
Steve.
audience
talk about hitting another public beat. What do you think of the Ryder Cup this weekend? Are you into it? Or are you going to be watching it?
Watching it, maybe going to it.
Wow.
I happen to be up there. I will be in the vicinity of it, so I will at least be feeling the energy of it. Have some family reasons to be up there. Of course, it's so neat because you just don't get to see all these guys together, and now there's always the distaste between the two teams, and now because of the live factors, it's just extra. So I think it's going to be really fun. I think the New York crowd is going to be really, really nasty, to the Europeans. And I can't wait. Like it's the gamesmanship of it all is going to be so fun. So even the debates about the all-time standings, like the U.S., we portray it that we've pummeled all-time standings, but Europe has looked at it more of the difference when the team changed from just being Great Britain to when all of Europe has been added, and they've been pummeling us. So
right.
I just love everyone has their different opinions on it. I can't wait. It's going to be really fun, and it's a good way to wrap up the golf season.
Yeah, and I do think the United States or the Americans are going to play really well. I really do. I think they're going to have something to prove here. I saw they had the New York City Fire Department, FDNY, come and speak to the golfers. So I don't know if that, Keegan Bradley,
Give him a little inspiration.
getting in the bag of tricks to get these guys motivated.
No, Steve, Colin needs a television. He needs a second screen. What do you think he should do?
What do you mean?
So I offered. So here's the thing. Here's the thing, Steve.
I'm a two screen guy.
Set the context, please.
I'm a two screen guy. I have my laptop that I use, and I have my main television that I use, and I usually get away with it watching 2 or 3 things at once tops. I also have my phone if I need it. The Ryder Cup is going to need its own screen the entire weekend. There is a lot going on. You have the last weekend of the MLB regular season. You have a good college football slate on Saturday. And then also, it starts at noon on Sunday with the singles matches, and that goes all through day. Jaguars play at 4. I'm going to be watching that. And you're going to be watching the last games of the regular season in baseball, which all start at 3. So I'm going to need a third screen. And I was thinking about scavenging Facebook Marketplace to get like a $50 screen that I could use for the day.
Or he hits up the king of multi-screens, a.k.a. Mike Rizzo, who both of you lambasted on this show for having 5 screens at once during football season. I offered Colin my 40-inch Samsung TV and my Xbox One that has all the streaming services that I pay for to Colin's disposal, and he told me to kick rocks.
I did not tell him that. I told him undecided. Steve, what do you think I should do?
Wait. You're offering to buy those, or you're offering?
He's offering to lend it for the weekend. Lend it for the weekend.
Uncle Steve, I am king multi. I am the multi-TV setup. I invented it. I invented it in my dorm room. I invented it in my dorm room in 2013 at Ohio State. Okay, I am Mr. Multi-TV Screen, and I have a setup for Colin. All he has to do is swallow his pride and ask, but the young man won't do it.
Nah, I wouldn't want all your stuff, and then it's like the pressure of like, what if it breaks?
It's okay if
it's probably not worth anything.
Yeah, Steve, this is an important TV to Mike.
No, Steve, am I that guy?
This is Steve. This is an important TV. This is like his favorite
Uncle
TV.
Steve,
you're that guy.
Uncle Steve,
doesn't mean you're that guy, but he may be that guy.
You know
that
me.
Feels wrong about it.
I'm gonna shake down Colin for $100 for an Xbox One, and he can do whatever the hell he wants with it. All right.
He may feel bad about it and then feel like he's no.
Okay.
The real thing here is Colin should buy a second TV. He doesn't only need it for this weekend.
Yeah,
it's
right.
Nice
So this is an investment.
He doesn't only need it for this weekend. Is this the only weekend? There's a lot going on in sports. Are the MLB playoffs going to be going on at the same time as college and the NFL for the next month?
Well,
get a second TV. Go out, get yourself a second TV. And away you go.
Well,
and then you have your third screen is your computer, and your fourth screen is your phone.
He doesn't believe in that, though. He doesn't believe in the 2 TV
I'm sort of
setup.
going to the dark side on that, no?
I'd say it's you're evolving. I mean, it doesn't.
I need it for this
you're
weekend.
Wrong.
There's no discussion about this weekend. I need it this weekend.
So then you want to dig your heels in on these arguments that you don't actually believe because you know you need the extra screen.
Steve, that's his biggest nightmare. His biggest fear in life is going back on what he does, on something he doesn't believe in.
I know these people who just can't admit that they were wrong and just instead say, you know what, I'm growing or I'm seeing the needs. No one's gonna be mad at you about it. I mean, we're gonna make fun of you for being wrong, but you are.
Right. I'm just going to get like a $50 screen off of, somebody's secondhand screen off of Facebook Marketplace. That's
or you could ask your good buddy over here.
That's
for
what I
some
need.
Help.
Steve, what's going on at Duffy's?
Well, Duffy's has 80 screens at every single one. So, you know where Duffy stands on multi-sport watching at once. And you know what? Duffy's also has the full roster of the new football features like the barbecue pulled pork nachos, the hand-cut tortilla chips, slow-cooked pork shoulder, Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce, barbecue rub, creamy queso blanco, crispy onions, and jalapenos. That is just in one item. The Duffy's double smash burger with the touchdown tots and whether you want them the buffalo chicken style or the OG cheeseburger tots. The award-winning wings in 17 different flavors, 2-for-1 drinks, game day buckets, and, of course, your favorite game on Duffy's on their aforementioned ATTVs. No one does football season like Duffy's. Visit your local Duffy's. Sports Grill Duffy's. Their game is always on. Colin, if you don't want to buy the additional TVs and you don't want to take the handouts from Mike, then go watch it at Duffy's.
That might be my answer. Maybe I'll be at Duffy's from 7 a.m. on Saturday up until late evening on Saturday. We'll see how it goes.
Watch party with Colin.
Appreciate it, Steve. As always, we'll talk soon.
Bye, guys.
Steve Palatino of the Good Conference, president of Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer, presented by Duffy Sports Grill. We'll loop in Christian Cat into the conversation, do a little 5 and 5. Stick around for it. Second hour, the 5 o'clock hour, presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, coming up right here on ESPN 106.3.
Anna Jar Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
All right, let's talk about your game day routine. You've got the jersey, the cooler, the tickets, but what about your ride? Show up looking like a champion with Unlimited Auto Wash Club. With 6 South Florida locations, every membership includes unlimited 100% hand washes, 1 per day, every day. From a quick exterior shine to the ultimate special with wax, Rain-X, and interior touch-ups, Unlimited Auto Wash keeps your car looking its best all season long. Call 561-WASH-ME-TOO or visit a location today.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet, home of Inter Miami, Miami Heat, and the Miami Dolphins. Catch all the action and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 106.3. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. Wager terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMIT.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or BradleyAir.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Evan Cohen here, reminding you that ESPN 106.3 is the official home for Inter Miami Soccer. Wednesday, Inter Miami heads to New York and the Pink Smoke fires up at 6. Catch every kick, clash, and goal right here on ESPN 106.3.
The 5 p.m. hour is presented by Good Greek Moving and Storage, the world's only total relocation company. Local or long distance, they've got you covered.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Don't fumble your finances. Whether you're running a business or running plays, Jay Zolo and Associates keeps your books tight in your stress light. With nearly 30 years of experience, Jay Zolo is your go-to coach for QuickBooks, offering expert consulting, one-on-one training, and full-service bookkeeping. Jay Zolo and Associates, simplifying your books so you can win on and off the field. Visit jzolo.com today. That's JZOLLO.com.
Every great performance starts with a plan. Your game plan for greatness begins at Men's Only Medical. Dr. Al is redefining men's health with concierge care and cutting-edge treatments tailored just for you. From anti-aging and weight management to cardiovascular health, skin, and hair, they've got you covered. Expect personalized care and advanced technology to help you look, feel, and perform your best. Visit mensonlymedical.com. Men's Only Medical, setting a new standard for men's health.
morning, all sports fans. Grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
If you're like Mike and driving down the road, you get rear-ended by some unsuspecting driver. If you've been in that car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, they get your back. I know with Anajar and Levine, they got mine. They could get yours too if you call today. They don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Don't settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine's day because demand the best. That's the difference between Anajar and Levine. It takes that one phone call. Take back control of your life today. Don't wait. Call for the free consultation now. Call 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Mike and I did not know it was Rosh Hashanah today. Steve Pollitt Sr. made sure we knew that. That was a problem. Didn't realize. All right.
Yeah,
I think you got to be attached to a school.
I thought it was a bad look. It was a bad look by us, I thought. We should know, the president
Christian,
of the
did you
company.
know it was Rosh Hashanah today?
No, I didn't.
I feel like if you're attached to a school, you know.
Yeah, it's like
kids, they're staying home from school.
We went out into the bullpen
I didn't know.
where all our other, teammates are, and it was a mixed bag. Some didn't know, some knew. One of them scolded us for not knowing and said to look at our surroundings. I don't know. I thought it was our president is Jewish, and we should have known that it was Rosh Hashanah.
Does Rosh Hashanah, doesn't the date change every year?
You're asking the wrong guys.
You are. I have no idea.
888-760.
Now, I am a disgrace because my cousin Lucas and Carly and my uncle Jamie, they are Jewish. So, I should know more.
Would you have texted them Happy New Year?
I probably would have. I probably would have reached out to Lucas and Carly today if I knew that. And
it changes
Elisa.
every year.
So
I can't knock us for not knowing this year. I can't knock us for that.
My uncle Jamie, Catholic, obviously he married a Jewish woman, my Auntie Elisa. So, I should know some of these things, but I
didn't know that.
Clueless.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't think. To be honest with you, it changes every year. What do you expect? I'm not in school. That's when you get the. I thought if it was the same day every year, that's my bad.
And
it's not the same day every year.
But on the calendar, it usually says the holiday. I looked at my calendar this morning. Did it say Rosh Hashanah or did I just completely miss that?
On the work calendar.
Okay, that's it.
I'm going to take a look right now.
Because I looked on our Outlook calendar, and I'm pretty sure it didn't say anything this morning.
On the Apple calendar, it does say Rosh Hashanah.
Okay, well.
There's 2 days of it.
There's 2 days of it?
Jeff, remember, Jeff.
Why is there 2 days?
Jeff, our teammate, said.
Is it a night thing? It is a night thing.
He said today is the happy.
This is rough.
Didn't he say today is the happy Rosh Hashanah and tomorrow is the not so happy Rosh Hashanah?
What do you mean?
That's what he was telling us out there. Are you not listening?
Happy and non-happy.
You weren't listening.
This is news. I didn't know.
You were not listening.
There's a happy and
Maybe
an
that's
unhappy
a problem.
Rosh
I think so.
Hashanah?
This guy doesn't listen.
And granted, I'm
I
telling.
didn't listen to. I don't even know who
Christian
said something.
Look at me. I'm telling Colin he doesn't listen, and I'm not 100% accurate either. So this is
There's a happy and a sad Rosh Hashanah?
Apparently so.
All I know is the Nepali New Year is celebrated on the second week of April each year. So I'll be expecting a Happy New Year on the second week of April.
Isn't that where Everest is?
What?
Nepal? Isn't that where Everest?
Yeah.
You climbing? Hang on, Christian. Is he climbing Everest?
I feel like you should.
No. That's a very dangerous endeavor.
Yeah, people don't
I
survive
could go to.
that.
You're a dangerous guy.
I'd go to base camp. That's something I'd consider. That's like.
And then maybe if someone entices you, come on.
Base camp is like its own hike to begin with.
I don't want you to do Everest. I don't think
I don't want me to do Everest.
I don't think
your
bodies
on the frozen. No one wants to get them down from
there.
And
they leave you there.
Hang on, you guys ever seen? Not to make
light. It's also too touristy now. It's too hard to get up. Apparently, it's a big problem.
You guys ever seen Mr. Deeds? I have a big fear of climbing mountains ever since Mr. Deeds' uncle froze to death on the mountain.
Oh, that'd be, it would make for pretty cool content. If we've got a radio host who's stuck on Everest.
Stuck?
I don't know.
I'm not stuck for that long. I'm going to pass away if I'm, after 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, you got a nice hand warmer. Shake him up real good.
So,
Christian's like
Rosh Hashanah is a holiday of profound duality.
Yeah, like happiness and sadness. I think that's
that's not the right way to say it.
I think that's what Jeffrey was trying to tell us out there.
Yeah. He said Happy New Year, so I guess it's the happy day.
What do you eat for Rosh Hashanah? A lamb? You eat lamb?
Again, asking the wrong guys.
Is this
we
the
don't
one
have
where you
these
put
answers.
this is bad, but
no, I don't think it is. Whatever it is we were about to say.
Yeah, is this the one where you put the stuff on the door, or is that Passover?
That's Passover.
That's Passover
because the doors got passed over in Egypt. Come on, mate.
That's it.
That's in the Old Testament too. You should know that.
Yeah. All right.
Story of Moses. I mean, my goodness.
All right.
Your mother is listening in and very disappointed right now.
I'm a New Testament guy. I'm a New Testament guy. We could do that. We could do the New Testament. Old Testament, I'm a little shaky on my memories, on my Sunday school training, nonetheless. Christian, how are you today? You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Really not much notable. Just watching my Ravens lose another football game in front of a national audience. I've come to get used to that, just like the first week of the season.
You don't have to worry about them in the regular season, am I right?
No, they're going to win double-digit games
now,
and then
the
lose
question,
to either the Chiefs or the Bills.
The question with them is, can they win a big game? The answer to you is right now, no.
Like, they can't win the big game.
The game that they need to win. The game that they haven't won, they need to win.
Yeah, they'll win. It was concerning because that's a game they normally do win. At home, NFC opponent, have the edge at quarterback. That was a game that they more often than not do win. It just didn't get to enjoy a win.
It's like Groundhog Day for Christian with Penn State and the Ravens, I feel like right now.
No, we're getting to that with Penn State playing their first big game coming up soon and Yankees playoffs. That's where they do overlap.
I see.
It's always Yankees elimination day and Penn State loses their first game of the season day. They're always either the same day or within a 3-day stretch with how the Big Ten calendar normally works.
Penn State and Oregon this weekend, you're going to have an early. Unless they beat them, maybe they'll beat them. I don't know.
I think they beat them.
I think
they beat them.
I can't get a read on either team.
Christian.
I can't get a read on either team. So that's going to be a tight game. We know that for a fact.
Defensively, they have pros all over the field. What, Dante Moore going to go into Beaver Stadium, throw for 5 touchdowns? If he does,
if there's a game that Penn State loses, which game is it? It's this game.
It's Ohio State.
Yeah.
It's at Ohio State.
They lose every big game they play, but I understand.
But it's at Ohio State. Indiana.
They're like the Mets. They are like the Mets.
The
Penn State is a little bit like the Mets. Penn State's always going to Penn State sometime, and this weekend's a good example.
Oregon at home, Ohio State on the road, home against Indiana. Those are the marquee games for Penn State.
They're going to beat Indiana by 3 scores.
I tend to agree with
Indiana's the same thing as last year.
No, they're better than last year. Put some respect on Mendoza.
Illinois,
that guy's going to be a top 5 pick in the draft, Fernando Mendoza. Hello?
As we know, I have a very soft spot for Illinois, but they're not a top 10 team.
Yeah, you hate to see that.
I hate to see it. And I've been rooting for Brett and that team for a long time.
Well, speaking of Illinois, let's bring him in. This is one of your former co-hosts?
No. This is Mikey in Peoria.
Mikey in Peoria. He's called in a number of times.
Long-time listener to Primetime in Peoria and the Jim Matson Show, and now long-time listener of Russo and Rizzo. Mikey, how are you, mate? What do you got?
I'm doing great. Rizzo, I just had to call, first of all, and thank you for the shout-out. Yes, I was indeed listening to you.
I got you, brother. I know you do every day, Mikey. You listen to R&R every day.
Hey, I just want to remind you, though, last time I checked, my diploma says once a brave, always a brave.
Yeah,
so I'm not that invested in
Bradley
Illinois.
Mikey. Yes, Bradley Brave Mikey. Now, Mike, you want to talk about the guards. How about my guards?
Hey, right before I switched over to your show, Jim had mentioned that on July 9th, I think he said, 15 and a half games back.
Right.
It was,
and
they were 12 games back on August 25th as well. So that's even later in the season, and they were still double-digit games back.
I did hear you mention that. I wanted to take this opportunity after wishing the guards good luck. First of all, disappointed in Rizzo's love fest with the Padres. I get the bullpen, but I wanted to ask Rizzo a question, and then I have one other thing to say. Rizzo, I don't remember, so help me out here.
Right.
How many points did you beat Michigan by last year? Because we beat them by 14.
Yeah, Mikey, I got nothing there. I got nothing there for you. Buckeyes, hang on. We got something for him in Ann Arbor this year, though, Mike. I promise you that.
Illinois fan?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm an Illinois fan because my brother went to Illinois, and that's another thing I wanted to do real quick. I wanted to wish my brother Chris, Rizzo may remember,
Army,
he's a
he's a
retired
vet.
U.S. Navy
Yep.
commander, and he used to text in all the time from around the globe. And this one, I hope, Colin, you'll get a kick out of this. One time when he was in Saudi Arabia, he's a defense contractor now, since retired from the Navy. He sent in pictures from Saudi Arabia of camels just wandering in the desert, like moose in the wilderness.
Wow.
And when Rizzo saw those pictures, he about fell out of his chair, just shocked at how he thought he was looking at T-Rexes. And I'll never forget Jim saying, "Yeah, Rizzo, camels are that big." That was. I
never seen a camel before?
They were bigger than I thought. Boys, they were bigger than I thought. The last thing here, brother. Jimmy, all right? You guys doing good? Hap doing all right in Peoria?
Rizzo, the only thing that's not right about Peoria anymore is we don't get to hear you on the air every day unless you're a dedicated follower like I am. I wish Jim would find a slot for you to call in once a week or something.
Listen, Jim's got my number. We text all the time. He could have me call in whenever he wants, brother. I thought of you guys 63-10. That son of a gun ran up the score. Okay, I wish the Buckeyes played Indiana this year so we could give them a proper beating. But my goodness, 63-10, Mike. What a butt kicking.
Yes. Hey, good luck with the guards, and you know it, Rizzo. I'm a fan, always a fan, and I'll never quit you.
Love you, brother. I'll talk to you soon, all right? Give Jimmy my best.
He's gone. How about that? Good cue on the music, by the way. You had that ready to go rock and roll?
No, honest to God, Mikey and his older brother, too, like huge vet, had very important person in the armed forces. So, like, they were great listeners every day.
And you never seen a camel before?
Colin, they were huge.
I know camels are big. I know they're big.
I did not expect it to be that massive. I've
never seen. Are they like a dog sized? How big?
I don't know. Here's the thing. I grew up going to the zoo and whatnot. The camel exhibit must have not just have been there because those things were big. They were bigger than the one I was looking at was bigger than a horse. Now horses are big.
They are bigger than horses. They're taller.
Moose are bigger.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I've never seen a moose in person, but those are bigger.
Speaking of, I guess it's the Peoria hour. Happy and his dad, they had to like pull off the side of the road because the damn moose was just sitting in the middle of the road, and it was the size of this room.
Yeah, and they'll kill you if they get an opportunity.
They'll
kill you.
They're herbivores, no?
They'll kill.
They're off of territory, not to hunt you, but to territory.
They'll stampede you and throw your horns. You end up with a horn to the chest.
And they'll tune up your car too.
Tune up your car. And that's what they were explaining to me. They had to like hightail it out of there because they had to back up.
They'll tune up your car.
Yeah.
We had a little 5 and 5. We'll do that on the other side. Stick around for it. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies.
Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach. Hey guys, Mike Rizzo here. I know you're moving soon. Don't stress it. Call Good Greek for your total relocation solution. From packing and storage to local and long-distance moves, Spiro and his team at Good Greek Moving and Storage has you covered from start to finish. Trusted by families, businesses, and teams like the Heat and the Hurricanes for over 2 decades. Make your next move simple, safe, and stress-free.
Good Greek Moving and Storage. Your superhero movers.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121, or visit tworld.com today.
Miami Dolphins football is back at Hard Rock Stadium. The party starts the second you hit the lot and doesn't stop till the final whistle. There's nothing like experiencing Dolphins football live. Single game tickets are on sale now with options for every budget, from the 300 level to our luxury offerings. Turn Sundays into something unforgettable. Secure your seats today. Visit MiamiDolphins.com/tickets and get ready for game day.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. No, you see, you get $150 in bonus bets after your first $5 bet hits.
Did somebody say hit?
Whoa, Ray Lewis? We were just saying if your bet hits.
Huh. You know I love a good form tackle.
We know, Ray. We know.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Every great performance starts with a plan. Your game plan for greatness begins at Men's Only Medical. Dr. Al is redefining men's health with concierge care and cutting-edge treatments tailored just for you. From anti-aging and weight management to cardiovascular health, skin, and hair, they've got you covered. Expect personalized care and advanced technology to help you look, feel, and perform your best. Visit mensonlymedical.com. Men's Only Medical, setting a new standard for men's health.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Couple days into fall, officially, it's Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Post Week 3 of the NFL, post Week 4 college football, the last week of the regular season for MLB, and also the Ryder Cup coming up this weekend, and the USA and the Europe having a little bit of jawing back and forth. We'll get into that a little later on, of course. But Christian Cat is our producer behind the glass at the City Place Studios. If you missed any of the program today, listen back. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, just search up Russo and Rizzo. Let's get to it. Let's do a little 5-5 first, Christian. Talking about greatness, we're looking for greatness from the Americans this weekend in the Ryder Cup. But if you're looking to get maybe better golf, if you're looking to see what greatness really is, look no further than the Kaiser Seahawks athletic program.
I tell you what, if the United States of America Ryder Cup team does not take care of home field this year, I think I'm like 2 more lessons away from representing our nation in 2027.
They're looking for people with pride.
And I've got it. And I've got golf skills now. Thank you to the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. They've got the facilities, tools, coaching you need. The best facilities in the area to get your golf game right. Both outdoor with their range, with the practice bunkers, the chipping putting green. It's outside. It's also inside. Listen, these afternoon showers, hurricane season, it's affecting everybody. It's affecting your golf practicing as well. But not if you're at the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. You can bring the party inside, have video analysis, see why exactly you are hitting a snap hook, why exactly you're slicing the ball. It's all at the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. I've got my next lesson tomorrow, actually Thursday, where Coach Pete and I are going to go through my driver a little bit and try to get a little more consistency with the long stick. It's all at the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. It's right in the heart of Palm Beach County, right off of I-95, off the Turnpike on South Military Trail in Okeechobee. You got to go there to get your golf game right.
Let's get to it. Let's have a little fun. Let's bounce around. 5 and 5% by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Earn up to $700 per year with boost checking from Flagler Credit Union. Number 1.
We'll start right with the golf stuff because, yes, the Ryder Cup starts on Friday. The opening ceremony was changed due to weather. But Bryson DeChambeau, he'll be one of the Americans who's on the Ryder Cup team. He earned his way there with points, performing well in the majors that he qualified for, not on the PGA Tour anymore. So he truly did deserve to be on there. Randall Chambly is a Golf Channel analyst, pontificator, analyzer. Randall Chambly apparently doesn't like Bryson DeChambeau. Take a listen to what he had to say regarding one of the guys representing the U.S. of A.
I thought it was pretty poignant there when he asked about the retort of Rory that he didn't mention the goal this week of a Ryder Cup. Nope, he didn't do that. He didn't talk about playing on a team and how much that meant. Nope, he didn't do that. What he did do was talk about his YouTube channel, which, you know, if we want to talk about the numbers that are generated from that, it's pretty dubious. I have no doubt that bots are generating a lot of those views. There may be some interest as well, but that's what he wants to talk about, not the team, not the Ryder Cup. And this is one of the reasons why I think he's going to be such a difficult person to get paired with. No doubt he's one hell of a golfer. No doubt he has his moments of generosity with fans. I've heard about him. But he's an odd duck when he's trying to blend in with the team, and he has so many potential bulletin board mistakes. And I think he would be a captain's nightmare.
Captain's nightmare, to wrap it up from Randall Chambly when regarding Bryson DeChambeau and the YouTube and the talking with the fans. Was that uncalled for? Did it strike you odd that American, again, this is not one of those, Randall Chambly is from London and he cares about the European team.
He's a former golfer, too.
He's an American former golfer that probably, if he were to be biased one way or another, would be for the USA. Did you care about that?
I think this is totally uncalled for, completely out of left field. There is one thing to critique the United States players for not playing for pride of country. That has been the critique of the Americans in the Ryder Cup the last couple of times this has happened.
They're now getting paid, and Europe is not getting paid to compete this weekend.
Right. So and they're all, a number of them at least, are donating it to charity to try to look good. But, you know, the point is, that's been the biggest knock, has been these Americans don't play for pride of country. Joe Fortenbaugh joined the program a couple weeks ago, and he said, take Europe right now because the United States will not understand that they are playing for America, not themselves. There's an argument to be made there. So the beginning part of what Chambly was saying in regard to DeChambeau, I didn't even think was that far out of left field. He's not mentioning the team, but then he starts going in about his YouTube channel and going in about the validity of his YouTube channel and how it's
the Russian bots.
Exactly. How he's lying to everybody about the public interest, basically alluding that nobody cares.
That was a questionable call by Randall Chambly for talking about Russian bots.
The best was he's like, you know, that's AI generated, you know, or maybe there is actually some buzz with the channel. Which one is it, brother?
Yeah, and he can't talk about a captain's nightmare, too, because he's good at golf. And he's going to be a dangerous player for them. He's going to be a late or an early send-off on the singles on Sunday. But he will be available.
Bryson stealing this guy's girlfriend? Like, that's what it sounds like. Sounds like some petty beef.
Number 2.
Let's go to Major League Baseball. We still got about 6 days to go in the regular season. A lot of races still to be decided. But this league's going to look a little bit different in 2026 because Major League Baseball has approved it, implemented it in 2026. Automatic balls and strikes challenges will be implemented in Major League Baseball. The robo-umps are coming. Each team will get 2 challenges in their games. If they get it right and the umpire was wrong, they get to retain their challenge. Are you happy that we are finally implementing automatic balls and strikes at any level?
Yeah, there was over 1,000 calls that were got wrong. I think that's what Jeff Passan reported today. Of ESPN.com. Part of me thinks that baseball is losing a little bit of its livelihood with the umpires, but the umpires I dare I say they've gotten a little worse in the past couple of years. Now the fact that this is available and doable, all you're going to be doing is thinking, what if? Wait till a bad umpire decides a playoff game, and we're all going to be clamoring for it.
Right.
So from right here, it's the right move. It is the right move to decide games properly. But, umpires, at least behind the plate, were a big part of baseball.
A lot of people think I'm dead wrong for this, but I'm ready for the umps to have an earpiece and be told if it's a ball or a strike. They can't be making calls behind home plate anymore.
I think they should be like crossing guards.
I'm done with it. Yeah.
Like they have a vest on and they deliver what
just
the call
for the
is.
look,
Correct.
just so they can fake it. So, hey, we still got the umpire back there.
Yeah, like the guards in front of Big Ben. The what are they called? The British people that have the red coats on and the big hats and the fake rifle.
Yeah.
They're just there for formality these days.
His Majesty's Guard. I think that, umps are still going to have a role in college baseball and travel baseball.
But there's also a little bit of authority that's now provided to this, which is good.
This is the MLB.
You're going to check him now.
Hey, make sure you lay off the outside stuff. No! A ball is a ball and a strike is a strike. I never took that serious. And listen, if you want to sit here and tell me how wrong I am, and that's baseball, of an umpire calling a tight strike zone and calling the outside stuff, I'll listen to that. But in the end of the day, I want a ball to be a ball and a strike to be a strike. And it's time that we make the software in the program where the ump has the earpiece in and is told a ball or a strike. It's not that hard, guys.
Number 3.
After 21 seasons with Oklahoma State football, Mike Gundy has been fired after brutal back-to-back losses, a 69-3 loss to Oregon, a 19-12 loss to in-state perceived little brother Tulsa. Mike Gundy fired from Oklahoma State. He was one of the longest tenures head coaches in college football. Are you surprised he got the can mid-season by the Pokes?
I am, because been there for 20 years.
Right.
You'd think that, unless you have somebody internally that you really want to give a rip, or he's really not sitting well with the players and you're getting a sense that it's tumbling downward, I don't necessarily, they stink, but if you're getting that sense, then make a move. But other than that, my opinion is sort of owe him the due diligence of letting him finish out the season. Make it. You can announce it. Hey, this is going to be his last season before we move on. That would have been a little bit more honorable of a way to do it. But they're terrible, so I understand it. But unless there's somebody internally that you want to get a rip, I don't understand why you do this midseason.
Colin hit the nail on the head. I thought maybe after so many years that they'd wait till the end of the year. Listen, you lost to Oregon 69-3, and you just lost to Tulsa. Season's over. Season's over. Why not let him finish out the season and end with some dignity? I don't know. I thought this was a tough look, and honestly, it's bothering me. I mean, a guy who really built the program. With all due respect to Barry Sanders, I know they were great way back when, but that guy built the program back up to what it was. I understand it's in the gutter right now, but I thought they owed it to Gundy.
Do you think there's something to not adjusting to the new age of paying your players?
Probably.
You see guys like Dabo, old school, struggling. Now, Mike Gundy, old school, struggling. And also, there's not that much money in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
I feel like that's why Nick Saban left too. Saban didn't want to deal with the new NIL and the new college football. He did for a little bit. Give him credit.
17 straight bowl games. And then he didn't get one last year, and then they got rid of him after 3 games this year.
They were an inch from being in the college football playoff in 2021.
2021. That was it, when they were 12-2.
Correct. And then, it's why I say it's not sitting well with me. A guy who built that program to what it was.
Yeah, it's completely unfair.
Stinks.
You get the 17 straight bowl games outside of your first year and your last year. The least you could do is announce, hey, we're moving on from Gundy after this year.
Put it on me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
That's ridiculous.
That was really good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
That was like, wait a second. Like that sounded exactly like
I know. I'm pretty good at impressions. I got my moments.
Sounded just like this.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
That was like exact. Like I thought I accidentally clicked on it.
Well done.
What are we on? 4?
Number 4.
Hey, news in the NFL earlier today. It was announced that the New York Football Giants are going to start their rookie from Ole Miss, Jackson Dart, for their Week 4 game against the Los Angeles Chargers. Are you surprised by the move?
I'm surprised by the timing. I am. I didn't think they would do this. I know Mike was in favor of this. I personally think this is a move that bad franchises make when you're this is a panic move. This is. And this is last last-ditch effort. You know, this is what the Bears did when they threw in Justin Fields to replace Andy Dalton, and he got banged around for his entire rookie season. And he made an argument that he never really got comfortable ever since, and he made his way out of Chicago soon after that. I don't know if this is going to be exactly like that, but, I mean, they got rid of Nagy right after that. Their chances are you're getting rid of Dable after this season. They're not making the postseason. They're most likely not, especially with that terrible schedule. I don't know what point they need to see in order to keep Dable and Shane around. If they allowed him to sort of sit on the bench and, you know, they had their moments. Weirdly enough, I actually thought that there would have been a moment where they could allow them to get another year. But with this panic move, this tells you that internally there's pressure. Externally, we know there's pressure. Hey, if our veteran quarterback couldn't get this done with this offense against the Kansas City Chiefs, let's get our unproven guy in there who's raw talent. We'll see what he does. So maybe he surprises me. I don't think this is the right move. I think this is going to hurt the player in the long run. But this is a move that bad franchises make. That would be my finish.
They had no choice, and I think it's the right move at this point. We don't need to see Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is who you go to if Dart throws 6-7 interceptions. Then you dug your own grave. I'll give Kyle this. This kid comes in and stinks. I mean, there is no.
Everything is changing.
Correct. There is no saving your job. All right, you're done.
But here's the thing. This is why this is not fair.
Jameis is the backup to the backup plan.
If Dart comes in and stinks, who are we going to look
choice.
At? What are you going to blame Dart? He came in when he wasn't ready. The fans pressured the coach to get him in. The coach is going to get fired. We're going to blame this kid for going against the number 4 defense in the NFL and stinking and then playing the defending champions twice in 3 weeks. And if he is terrible, we can't say that anymore. That's not fair. You can't blame Dart. He could save Dable's job. He could end his job. But you can't blame him because everybody knows he's being thrusted in there probably too early. I think everybody's on that same page. Probably this is not the initial plan. Now we can't be. This is where I'll have a problem. If Dable gets fired, I think he'll last the whole year. Let's say he gets fired midseason, and Dart is not that good. Dart all of a sudden is now going to have 3 head coaches in 6 months because they're probably going to hire elsewhere, and if he's not good, you're going to be people clamoring saying he's not the guy. Oh, he's not the guy. He's not the guy. That's not it was not a fair situation that he was thrust into. That is where this conversation is heading, and that's going to drive me crazy because this was an avoidable issue if you didn't play him too early. You see what I'm trying to say there? Like,
sure.
We're going to be then all of a sudden Dable's out of town. You need a new scapegoat. All eyes on the rookie quarterback. That's where this is going to be. That's where this is heading.
It's similar to Caleb Williams.
Exactly. This is
similar.
what happened with the Justin Fields. It's exactly what happened.
It's similar to what's been going on in Chicago to that point. But I say Dable, Sheen, they forced this hand. I mean,
don't draft a quarterback to save your job.
And then also you paid Daniel Jones, and then you got rid of Daniel Jones. And then you looked at the market and you saw, oh, crap, it's Joe Flacco, Russell Wilson, and Jameis Winston. And then you looked at the quarterbacks in the draft and said, oh, crap, they're not that good. And you had to settle for Jackson Dart at 20.
Well, the thing is, we can't conclude that they're going to settle for Dart if Dart goes into New York when he's not ready against a brutal schedule with a bad offense and struggles.
But I think
is that really his fault?
It's not. But I think Dart could surprise some people. I do. I think Dart could actually be pretty good.
But that's what we have we have to stay there.
I do.
We have to stay there. We can't turn around now and throw all the books and read Dart the Riot Act if he struggles for 3 games. We can't do that. That's not fair now.
Here's the thing. I say Penix stinks now. He had games last season.
And he's had 8 games in his career.
Okay. But, like, I make these proclamations after you see them for more than 7 games, 6 games. You know what I mean? So, like, Dart, if we're into week 15 and the kid is still struggling, I think it'd be fair to say, listen, all right, might have to have some, might be drafting a quarterback in New York coming up this year.
Well, you're going to get 2 first-round quarterbacks? That's exactly what bad franchises do.
You drafted Abdul Carter. You drafted
Abdul
Carter,
but
too.
They used the first-round pick on him. I understand.
But also, you let the new GM, Kyle, will probably want to come in and get his guy regardless, unless Jackson Dart shows you something.
That's why this is a problem.
But if Dart shows you something, that's great. You got your quarterback for the next year and hopefully for the future. They got strong-armed into this position because listen, we can agree to disagree on Wilson. That guy stinks. All right, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Let's give him his credit.
Oh, the Hall of Famer struggled in this offense. Let's throw in the raw talent rookie and everything's going to change.
But a Hall of Famer who's well past it.
Fine.
We agree on that.
Fine.
And then I rather see Jackson Dart than Winston. Like I said, Winston's
That's the fan
Winston's
thing.
the guy you got. But
that's not the best thing for his career.
But we've seen, and I know you're on the side of rookies. Put them on the back burner. Let them sit. Let them learn. There are those cases where it works immediately. Maybe this is that case. And guess what? Dable and Shane have no choice now. They have no choice to hope that this guy is the guy.
They did have a choice until they made this decision. Now you're in.
I tried to tell both you
Now
and
you're
Christian, there's a difference between saying, oh, it's okay if the Giants are being 0-4, than the Giants actually being 0-4. You know what I mean? It's okay for for Sheen and Dable to go, listen, we might be 0-4. There's a difference of telling the owner that in March and then actually being 0-4 and him hearing the pressure from his buddies and the fans. It's a big difference there. That's why they got to play Dart. Dart's a first-round pick. He could come in and be electric in a bottle and save their jobs. Jameis Winston won't do that.
That is the best situation for them. That's the only chance that they have is if he is any good. But even if he's solid and the team stinks, they're out. They're out.
To put a bow on what I'm trying to explain here, Dart could come in, win 8 games, and save their job. Winston, if you play Winston and keep playing Wilson, you're losing your job. The only thing that is going to save your job is a young quarterback.
I don't know
looking
if I
good.
would say that.
You're 0-3 already.
I wouldn't say that.
But here's the thing. You're 0-3 already.
The rookie quarterback's not ready. This is our guy that we drafted. You're going to fire me before you even give the kid a chance?
The NFL is a tough business. Dude.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
And it's not fair. You're right. The NFL is not fair.
And he doesn't fire guys midseason. I'd make the argument today that they're not getting fired midseason.
I personally think that Dable and Sheen should have never even been allowed to draft.
Well, we're not there.
Now they're allowed.
This is what bad franchises do.
Correct. And the only way to save their jobs at this point is college.
You can make an argument that bad move number 1 was bringing them back. Bad move number 2 and 3 was ditching the whole system after 3 games. And then bad move number 3, the one after that, is going to be when you eventually get rid of the coach, and then all of a sudden all the scapegoating is on the rookie quarterback who was thrown into a brutal schedule with an offense that's not ready to accommodate his needs. And all of a sudden when they stink, if they do, and if he's doesn't play amazing, look around the NFL, see how many great young quarterbacks have been consistently great. And, I mean, if that's the case, and then we start looking, he's not the guy. Talk about not getting a fair shot. That's when you get another Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones going out of New York and seeing success. That's why you continue to see that.
I'll listen to that. I do.
That's why you continue to see
I'll listen to that. But these guys had no choice but to play Dart. They were losing their jobs.
You could have waited.
They were if they're 0-6, if they were 0-6 or not, and they plan on playing the rookie after week 7, they're not going to be there anymore. They don't win a game, they wouldn't be there anymore. This is the move to save their jobs. I totally get what you're saying.
Number 5.
We've got some grade A5 Wagyu beef drama in the SEC.
Oh, I love it.
Biggest game of the weekend, maybe in the SEC, comes between number 4 LSU and number 13 Ole Miss. Who's the best player on the defensive side of the football for LSU? This guy named Whit Weeks. Who's the head coach for Ole Miss? Lane Kiffin. Of course we know Lane Kiffin from the former FAU head coach. Well, Instagram official Lane Kiffin's daughter, Landry Kiffin, just posted a picture with Whit Weeks, starting linebacker for the LSU Tigers, saying that they're in a relationship of the week leading up to LSU versus Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin has retorted saying, take the over in the game, indicating Ole Miss is going to put up a whole lot of points on that LSU defense that features his daughter's boyfriend. Who do you think has the mental high ground here going into Saturday? The father of the daughter that Whit Weeks is dating, or Whit Weeks, captain of the LSU defense, dating the daughter of the head coach of the team he's about to play?
You know, Lane's a bizarre person because he goes on Twitter, on his personal Twitter, which he's very active on.
Love Lane.
And he responds to one of the tweets talking about this, and he goes, take the over. That's what he says. He goes, take the over.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, dude, this is too much. You are an oddball to begin with, and now you're doing it like this. But the one thing is, don't ever bet against the father's rage. I would take Ole Miss in this game.
Yeah, I by the way, for the record, love Lane Kiffin. Love the move that he said, to take the over. Absolutely. He's trying to score as many points on that defense that's dating daddy's little girl. Give me Ole Miss and the running Rebels to possibly shock the nation.
I don't know if I like this move from Landry, to be honest. His daughter. What are you trying to do?
Is it sad? Maybe it's sabotage. Maybe the Kiffins are sabotaging LSU. You think of it that way?
There's an entire other layer to this, where Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, there's an E60 special airing on ESPN, and it's detailing a documentary on Lane Kiffin and his life as a head coach. And that same daughter, Landry Kiffin, who posted a picture with the LSU opposing linebacker the week of the LSU Ole Miss game, apparently recorded a video telling her dad she wants to stay in Mississippi, do not take at then vacant Auburn job. So like this little girl, who's now a college girl, is integral in Lane Kiffin still being the Ole Miss head football coach.
Kyle,
A lot of layers.
Christian, I'm not going to look into what a 19-year-old girl is doing, or you know what I mean. Like they change their mind. Do you have sisters? I had a little sister. They change their mind on a whim. They say one thing and then an hour later they didn't mean it. You know what I mean? So like, dude, it's tough being a father. It's tough, and I'm sure Lane didn't take the. There's more implications of Lane staying at Ole Miss. I think a lot of it had to do with money. But it's
job security too.
Certainly something that I'll something that piqued my interest is what is it, E60?
Yeah,
certainly
7 o'clock tomorrow night.
Certainly something that piqued my interest, but you can't take what a 19-year-old girl says for face value. Yeah, she wants to stay in Ole Miss till she meets the love of her life in Louisiana. Now guess what? She wants to head to coach at LSU. Got to get Moneybags Brian Kelly out of a job now.
Streets are saying that Lane Kiffin's going to lead the Florida Gators to a title.
Well, he had a chance.
He would have done that.
Time
already.
out. The rumor was,
the kids are going to be out of the house at this point. Remember that.
#fans with sources. The rumor was that Kiffin was offered the Florida job, said no, and that's why they wrote out with Napier. Like I said, fans with sources. Take it for what it is.
He's not taking that job. It's too much pressure.
It's easier to leave your job and uproot your family when the kids are away at school or out of the house.
Yeah, but it's a lot harder to coach the Florida Gators than it is to coach Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Depending on who you ask, different expectations.
I mean, yeah, there it is. You hit it. That's the problem. He wins, 9 games at Ole Miss, he's okay. He wins 9 games at Florida. You do that a couple times, you're out of there.
I got in an argument with my buddies about this, about what are great jobs in college football.
There's an argument. There's certain people that are cut for the Alabamas and the Notre Dames of the world, and there's certain people that are going to be nice and happy at their Ole Misses where they could win their 8-9 games and be okay.
It'd be nice to be Mike Gundam before he got fired, right? Just contending for the Big 12 is enough to keep your job.
Kyle Whittingham at Utah.
Guys, the best job is Coach Stoops at Kentucky. Guy makes more money than almost any other SEC
and
coach.
And they got a great program in basketball that doesn't necessarily keep them.
And they're fine with winning their 7 games a year, going to a bowl game and saying 500 in the SEC. They're completely okay with it.
But then people would say you want the Alabama head coaching job because that probably is the best chance at winning a national title, or Ohio State.
Ask Kalen DeBoer how that Alabama job
And there's people, and there are coaches out there who are very comfortable at where they're at comparatively than jumping to a big program with a lot of expectations surrounding it just off of job security. I could go here, I'm going to make $6 million. Brent Key at Georgia Tech is sitting there thinking, well, I'm at Georgia Tech. If I'm going to leave, I'm going to leave for a job that not only I think I could win at, but number 2, I'm not going to be, kicked out of town after 2.5 years. That's the key. That's why he'll be a good hire, an interesting hire if he were to leave. That's Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat, Colin Russo. That was our 5 at 5. You can listen in on the ESPN South Florida app, which is available now on the App Store. That's Theoretically Speaking, which is 2 to 4 weekdays. You can catch all that there. Catch all of us, Russo and Rizzo. Catch our specialty programming, including the Inter Miami English and Spanish broadcasts. You can catch our high school coverage from throughout Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. That's on Friday nights as well. Listen from anywhere on the phone. Free to download on the App Store, the ESPN South Florida app. We'll close out the program next. It's Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. 2 of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Oklahoma's quarterback John Mateer down for the count, at least for the foreseeable future, with a hand surgery he underwent today. Supposed to come back at some point this season, but all this college football talk, all this college football buzz got me kind of boiling up for bowl season, which is on the way, huh?
Absolutely. And we got the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl coming up in Boca, Florida, 90 days out. You can get your tickets by going to BocaRatonBowl.com/tickets. That is BocaRatonBowl.com/tickets. You can follow them on Instagram at Boca Bowl. You can follow them on X at Boca Bowl. And then on Facebook, Boca Raton Bowl. But it's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl at Flagler Credit Union Stadium, December 23rd. You can get your tickets by going to BocaRatonBowl.com/tickets. Get signed up for the pre-sale sign-up. BocaRatonBowl.com/tickets. 90 days away from Tuesday, December 23rd in beautiful Boca Raton, Florida. And also, we got Boca Bowl Weekly with myself live at the City Place studio coming up next. So stay tuned. Talking a little college ball.
That's coming up right after this. And, of course, if you missed any of today's program, you want to listen back, go listen on Russo and Rizzo, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also watch it back on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X on our live stream, where we live stream every show weekdays. You can catch that right here. Appreciate everybody staying aboard with us on a Wednesday or a Tuesday edition of the program, 2025, September the 23rd. We got a lot to talk about, especially with this huge weekend up about. We still got a lot more Ryder Cup picks coming up, the MLB. The bulk of those the second to last series of the year starts tonight, including the Tigers and the Guardians, which is sort of playing for their playoff lives at this point. You get Blue Jays, Red Sox as well, highlighting it as we inch closer to the end of it there. You got a big college football weekend ahead, and you got a lot more of us coming up tomorrow, which you can catch us 4 to 6 p.m. Weekly. Big thanks to Christian Cap for keeping us up over the air. That's Mike Rizzo. I'm Colin Russo saying so long. We'll see you tomorrow right here, same spot, 4 to 6 p.m. ESPN 106.3.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110